Alright, so here we are in my print lab. I have my Sovol SV06 Plus all set up. Able to get some bigger prints, which is nice. And the other thing I really like about this machine is the fact that it has a very similar design to a proven Prusa rail system, and it works really well. It looks like a large Prusa, basically. I have Clipper installed on this machine, a Raspberry Pi 3B with a screen. You don't need the screen. You can monitor it from your computer, but that works well for me. And you can see it uses 10mm rods, similar to the MK4 that I also have up here. And yeah, it has done some really nice prints. After some tuning, this came off no trouble. Just set that to print last night, and layer adhesion is really good. The print looks beautiful, and I was almost expecting to come down to a stringy mess, but yeah, what I have, it was not this easy out of the box though to get it to print this well. I had to take apart all the bearings and grease them. It did have grease in them, but they were not packed. It kind of had a little bit of grease squirted in them, and they rattled heavily when I was playing with them. So re-greasing those bearings here on the underside and inside the cartridge is, in my opinion, a must-do. But for the price, I'm very happy with the speed and the quality. The speed that I'm getting off of this with Clipper is rivaling my MK4 speed. The MK4 still prints way better at the same speeds, as from what I can tell. Still some tuning that needs to be done over here. But yeah, the Benchy looks pretty good. We'll go look at those in a second, but I would say the MK4 quality at speed is still way better. I have done a few modifications to it. I've added this filament guide to bring filament in from up there, but still not have it be super tall or take up a lot of space. So that's really nice. I have the obligatory cable chain on the cable right there. I swapped out the PSU with a 350 watt Meanwell PSU that's quieter, and the reason I did that is you're like, why didn't you buy the 500 watt PSU? Well, I looked at my power meter down here, and I saw that even when running Clipper at a very quick pace, this machine did not pull it on. It averaged, maybe 200 watts and was peaking maybe to 300 occasionally on very fast movements. So the Meanwell 350 watt power supply is more than enough. It's also what I think E3D, they sell a replacement for PSUs for this, and they recommend the 350 watt as well, and it was only $35. So rather than mess around buying some fans, which would have cost $12, and a buck converter, which would be another couple dollars, I just spent $35. Got a Meanwell PSU on there that's silent whenever I'm not using it, and it works great. So you can also see one of the things that Sovol was raked over the coals for the SV06 Plus was their heat bed connector on the initial version. Now, I just barely got this directly from Sovol. Paid full price. I did not get this cherry picked. They don't know I'm making this video at all. And the heat guide has been changed from the initial version, and it looks great. This cable is completely different. This is thick cable, and this is really nice. And I have this adapter here, so when it's on top, it doesn't get caught. So yeah, it works really well. They made adjustments to fix the heat bed wiring, and they went overkill on it. This is really nice stuff. This is thick cabling that's not going to get caught up on things. I adjusted the filament sensor using a mod to bring it down to here so I can feed the filament that way. And overall, very happy with this machine. This is not my first time using clipper, but it has definitely, there's a lot of value here. So I'm liking my large format printing setup. I'm able to print large things again very quickly. I have run a CR10 and a CR10S Pro for a long time, but those machines are so old and slow, I sold them off. But I was missing being able to print things a little bit larger versus something like the MK4. Okay, so this is the first Benchy I printed on this machine using the stock file on the machine for a Benchy. And you can see that it doesn't look super great. It's a lot of lines going on here. This also took basically an hour and 35 minutes to print, so it wasn't even a quick Benchy. I even adjusted the speed up to get it to go a little faster, which is probably why you're seeing the artifacts on it. But yeah, not a great stock print there. The next one I did, I believe, was this one. This was after installing Clipper, and you can see that alone, this is pre any tuning, and you can see it started printing a lot nicer just from that. Still a few issues with it, but yeah, so then I printed, after some tuning, I printed this one, which looks pretty nice. You can see especially the chimney looks pretty good. And then finally, this is the last one I did, and this one was done at very high speeds. This one printed in about 40 minutes, and it looks pretty good. I had dialed in my clipper settings a little bit. You can see it's not perfect because of the speed that it was going at. I need to play with that a little bit more. But you can see even on the rear of the boat, we're getting a line, but that text is really pretty good. Where I am still having issues is on I think my pressure advance settings are not quite right, which is why I'm getting this defect on the front of the boat. But for a 40-minute, 39-minute Benchy, this is pretty decent. Okay, well, just to compare this to something that comes off of the MK4 in 39 minutes, this is the competition here. So not the same filament. You can see the overhangs are a little bit better. You're not getting this line. The hull has a little bit of deformation on the front there, but not nearly as bad as this particular print. You can see especially the smokestack there looks quite a bit nicer. But all in all, both really good prints that I'm getting off of this SV06 Plus, and this thing costs about $300, so very cheap. Came assembled, but so yeah, both very good machines. But for large format, this is a great alternative or in-between device if you've been waiting for that Prusa XL that is never going to come out and you're going to have to wait a year and a half to get. This is a nice in-between for not very much money, and frankly it's working out really, really well. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop in the comments. See you later.